which is the presentation by the Sequalitchew Creek Council. We would welcome Beth to come forward. Beth Elliot. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
And excellent. And we're going to put the presentation up on the screen so folks watching this from home can also see the same information.
Perfect. I wish I had some pictures up there too.
We'll have some later.
Okay.
All right.
Well, good evening, and thank you for this opportunity to come before the council to talk. A newly formed Facebook page called Save Sequalitchew Creek is strong, and it is growing. Its members are not just residents of DuPont, but also concerned citizens across our state and country. Sequalitchew Creek is a regional draw, a natural resource gem that we feel needs to be protected and preserved for future generations. Why is Sequalitchew Creek so important to the future of DuPont? It's important for its economic, historical, and environmental values. The economy is front and center on everyone's mind. We can understand why Glacier CalPortland is interested in the gravel. They stand to make millions in sales from this material. However, the city gets delayed development for 15 years of the area, delayed tax revenue for 15 years, and a 200-acre hole in the ground that will be difficult to attract industry or homeowners. We believe the economic impacts have not been fully evaluated or even explored. Perhaps our real economic future is in a responsible development of our historic district. This area is more important for its cultural significance. It was designated one of the 10 most endangered properties in Washington state. This was awarded in 1999 by the Washington Trust of Historic Preservation after the warehouse company blocked successful nomination as a historic district until all of their lands were sold. Historians say this area is the birthplace of Puget Sound for Western settlement and has even more ancient associations for the Native American tribes. It is one of the most important historic settlements in Washington state. Sequalitchew Creek, in its entirety, is the last remaining natural link to the history of Washington state. The Sequalitchew Band of the Nisqually Indian tribe settled near the mouth of the creek. It was here that the first tribe first began trading with British-owned Hudson Bay Company. The Methodist mission site was built up along the south bluff of the Sequalitchew Canyon. It is this history alone that is the springboard for developing a national historic district right here in DuPont. The long-term economic benefits of such a district could be substantial for the city. Has anyone at City Hall done a cost-benefit analysis of bringing in a national historic district versus having a gravel pit that could fit all of downtown Tacoma inside of it? The development of a tourist destination historic district plus the beauty of an improved natural area is an economic opportunity many cities can only dream about, but DuPont can have it. Sequalitchew Creek is an outdoor laboratory for our residents and school children. Students from Chloe Clark Elementary study water samples taken from the creek every year as a part of their curriculum. The Children's Village Montessori students released baby salmon into the creek after the class studied and raised salmon eggs through a project from the Department of Fish and Wildlife. And students from Pioneer Middle School will be exploring the creek this spring. Protecting our open spaces, wetlands, and natural resources is not only good for the environment, it's good for our health. DuPont has miles of trails that promote a healthy lifestyle. Northwest Landing was built on the premise of incorporating wetlands and open spaces to give residents room to stretch their legs and live a healthier lifestyle. This is why people chose to move here. The DuPont Municipal Code was designated to protect those wetlands. The city is a signatory of the 1994 Settlement Agreement. Part of that agreement includes the statement that Lone Star, now Glacier Cal Portland, agrees to seek no permits in the future to mine within the shoreline jurisdiction or within 100 feet of the top of the bank of Sequalitchew Creek, or in a manner that would significantly impact the flow of Sequalitchew Creek. You can find this language on page 22 of the 1994 settlement agreement. The city's comprehensive plan and development code were amended to reflect changes required by the settlement agreement. At the pre-application meetings for the proposed mine expansion, the city had the settlement agreement, the comprehensive plan, and the municipal code language to advise Glacier not to apply for an extension, but chose to ignore its own language, accept their application, and require only minimal permits. The Vashon Aquifer feeds all of the Sequalitchew Creek. If you drain out the aquifer, rechannel the water down to the lower level of the creek, you're killing the top half of the creek and altering the natural flow. That is a violation of the '94 agreement, of which the city is a signatory. Edmonds Marsh, our most prized wetland, which is part of Sequalitchew Creek, will have its water table lowered. This is a violation of the DuPont Municipal Code. So why did the city choose to ignore the code that protects our most prized wetland, which is part of Sequalitchew Creek? There are many complex questions surrounding Glacier's proposed mine expansion that we fear have not been fully vetted. This includes the impact on the community's natural resources and land values. Does the proposed mine expansion comply with DuPont's land use code for what is slated to be built in Sequalitchew Village? Was city staff able to make sure Glacier followed their original reclamation requirements for their existing mine? With the staff shortages the city currently has in their community development department, will the city be able to keep up with such a large project that has so much at stake? It is a fact city staff made mistakes over the past 2 years with this land use application. That alone has eroded citizen trust. We can only encourage you, council, to open your eyes, do your research, and ask the pertinent questions so that you can be better informed in the decision-making process. The citizens of DuPont elected you to be good stewards of our city now and for generations of citizens to come. So please take a long walk through Edmonds Marsh and go down the canyon. And most of all, we ask that you do your homework before you sign the MOU. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Elliott. Council, is there any questions for Ms. Elliott at this time on this item? Seeing none, thank you very much.